war with Iran, amongst other crusades. Um, you may have heard that there's this talk that the U.S. is going to go to war with Iran, and there's going to be all this. There might possibly be an outbreak of another war. Um, Now I'm not for Islam, and I've stated this before, plenty of my vids. But unfortunately, I have to disagree with our government and a lot of the people who support this ideology because it does seem funny, and I don't know if anybody else realized this, but within the past 10 years, all the countries that we've attacked, including Libya, Afghanistan, Iraq, uh, they've all been Muslim. Okay, now this seems just a little suspicious to me. I'm not sure if it's actually because they're Muslim or if it just so happens to be that way, but now they're talking about going to war with Iran. Now, I get it. Israel's scared. Okay, but Iran doesn't really pose a threat to America. Okay, their missiles will not even be able to reach here. Okay, secondly, if they ever did bomb us, that'd be the end of them. Okay, they're not going to do that. All right, I seriously have no believability towards our media at all on this. There's no credibility, at least for me. Now, we stay away from Pakistan because it has nukes. We don't mess with Saudi Arabia because they're rich. So you pick on all the other Muslim countries. Okay, you got Muslim different demographic videos. You got the whole Christian rants. You even got atheists on YouTube talking about Western values like Thunderfoot, stuff like that. Sounding really evangelical, even though he's an atheist. All right, this ain't my war. Okay, Iran has not attacked us. I'm sorry if Israel's scared, but there comes a time where you kind of have to realize whether or not your ally is either an ally or is it a liability. Okay, if your ally is constantly getting you involved in conflicts and stuff like that, and they're constantly requesting aid and all that stuff, then they could be considered a liability. Yes, Iran has threatened Israel, but then again, you do have the whole Palestinians being killed in Israel, which is unfortunate. I mean, I'm not blaming all Israelis. I'm certainly not blaming Jews. But for Israel as a country, I guess support your freedom or your rights. But the problem is, you did take that land that you lost thousands of years ago, just because Europe could not handle Jews. Okay, because Europe was prejudiced and anti-Semitic. Then you said, there's people out there that will actually stick up for what Israel has done to the Palestinians because they needed their own state. Well, why not make their own state in Europe? Okay, that land was not theirs anymore. Okay, it ceased being theirs until 1960 from a long, long ago war. They've been forgotten about, whatever, and all because Europe cannot handle having Jews amongst its ranks. We have shipped them off, so to speak, to Israel. Now Israel's begging America and come to their aid. Whatever. Sorry, I'm still getting over a cold. But it just seems too much like the Crusades again. It's like the Crusades too. World War II. We had two World Wars, so why not have two Crusades? Um, and I really don't. I'm sorry, I don't stick up. No Muslim has really done any harm to me. Okay, I don't view people in a groupist mentality. Okay, I don't view Eurocentrics as being all white people. I don't view Afrocentrics as being all black people. I single out your group, and I usually single out the individual for their actions. Okay, I don't have a groupist mentality. Yes, you got terrorists who are Muslim, but it wasn't a Muslim who killed that abortion doctor. Okay, just saying. All right, I mean, there's good and bad in everything. If you look at India, for the most part, their Muslims are very peaceful. Okay, matter of fact, the only terrorist attack that Muslim caused was from Pakistan, and that could be summed up in nationalistic sort of way. But it just I don't see any benefit for me, and this is one of the reasons why I'm usually against people going into the army because I don't see how this war could possibly benefit us at all. It's just it just seems to me like it's a religious war, even though we're trying not to make it be. You know, so it's, I don't know. It just I disagree with the whole concept of going to war with Iran over having nuclear facilities. You know, how many nuclear plants do we have? Nobody's bombing us. Okay, Soviet Union tried, but you know what? They disintegrated and they're gone now. Of course, you got Russia, which is basically like the Soviet Union. You know, only it's a little better. It's trying to go back to its old ways, I guess. But yeah, so you know, I mean, like I said, I don't have anything against Israelis, okay, but I do tend to have, you know, I do have something against Judaism. I do have a lot of things against, you know, the Abrahamic faith, mainly because they do preach about, you know, certain people are the only ones that are to be saved. Judaism, imagine you're being taught when you're little that you're of a special group that God loves and that God is going to look out for you and everybody else is just, you know, summed up in a word. Okay? If any group did that, they'd be labeled racist or prejudiced or whatever. But the Jews label us all Gentiles. All of us. Okay? And their book explicitly, you know, states that God, you know, discriminates. Okay? You just read Exodus. God discriminated against the Egyptians and the Israelis when he killed off the firstborn children. Okay, these are children that had nothing to do with anything that the Hebrews or the Egyptians were doing. And he even killed the slave girl that was Egyptian. You know, that's some morals there. Okay. Another thing I wanted to post was or talk about is on TMZ. There was a mention, I think, of a Jewish guy. He approached Eli Roth and he mentioned that he was in Iraq. And oh crap. He was in Iraq, and he mentioned something along the lines of he's celebrating, you know, what Eli Roth, you know, the Bear Jew did to the Nazis um, in the movie Inglourious Bastards, and he compared it to what he supposedly was wanting to do or something like that to the people in Iraq or some Iraqi soldiers or whatever. Of course, he said he was gay, and then he's like, "Okay, you be the gay Bear Jew." I have a problem with that. For one, the Iraqi soldiers and the Nazis were vastly different. The Iraqi soldiers, you know, technically the Nazis too, individual Nazis, you know, they were just foot soldiers. But, you know, that just leads to more of the group mentality. You know, and it's really, it's present in everybody. You know, we can deny it all we want to, but we all have a group mentality. You know, we all think that, you know, we always lump these people together, even though we try not to, but we will because it's our instincts. It's, you know, okay, they have a common goal, so, you know, we're going to lump them up into one. Or they have a common look, they have a common ancestry, common belief, whatever. You know, I mean, like I said, it's just, there's prejudice all over the Abrahamic faith, and they are responsible for a lot of wars, and they are responsible for the current wars that we're in. Muslims may have started it, or a group of Muslims, a group of terrorists may have started jihad, but we're finishing it with a crusade, and it does not make it right. Okay, I'm sick of, you know, hearing about the mosque being built in New York and Europe, you know, having its problem. Okay, first of all, for Europe, either have babies or shut up. Okay, and I know that this is kind of a cruder video than I'm used to be posting, but that's all I have to say. Either deal with the immigration, stop the immigration, and deal with your economic collapse so you can actually lower your population like we were supposed to, like we've been taught, you know, all this time to, you know, we've got to lower the, you know, human population a little bit, or deal with the, you know, immigration or have babies. Those are your options. Okay? If you're not doing one, you're going to have to go the other. You're going to either have to take your economic collapse, you're going to have to take your immigrations, you're going to have to make babies. Okay? Those horrible little monsters that y'all hate so much. Okay? Germany, I'm looking at you. Because, yeah, wow. But children are not a liability. They can actually, you know, give you purpose. And if you have two kids, you know, the occasional person has a third kid, you know, because you know, people tend to die. You know, in zero population growth, there you go. Or we could actually, you know, make good on our plans to colonize other planets, which doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. You know, we made a lot of progress in the 1960s and 70s, and it went to hell from there. Okay, we pretty much just stayed Earth focused for our technology. So say, hey, let's make it to Mars. We haven't made it to Mars. You know, we land on the moon. here we are, over 40 years later, still haven't made it to Mars yet. I mean, so yeah. But anyway, that's just a little rant that I was doing. But yeah, it just seems to me like we're starting a new crusade, which is something I'm against. I'm against going to war with Iran. Okay, they haven't done anything to us. I wasn't against the Afghanistan war because the people who were in charge there did endorse Al Qaeda. Okay, and they came from there. They posed a threat obviously because they killed a bunch of people on our soil. But shooting down a spy plane, what the hell are we doing over there anyway? Okay, I'm sorry, but it's fair game. You have the right to spy on them. They have a right to shoot you down. Okay, like I said, man, to me, it just seems like another religious war, and I'm not getting involved. Any good non-religious person or non-Abrahamic faith follower would probably not get involved. This is something that is their problem. It is. And I'm not talking about, I know I'm generalizing with Christianity and Islam. Okay, I'm not trying to do that. But the specifics of the Christianity, the type of Christianity that runs this country, or the mainstream and the Protestants, stuff like that run this country, that are against, the Republican Party. You know, that right there, that's what I'm against. And of course, I'm also against, Al Qaeda and stuff like that. Quite possibly, I haven't really heard too much about the Muslim Brotherhood, but I'll probably be against them too. And but I'm also against, Judaism as well. I'm sorry, but you have one religion that states, okay, Muslims, Arabic's the God's chosen words, like that, and you have another religion that states that Jews are the chosen people of God. Honestly, I just don't see the point in creating something and showing favoritism and hating something. Why the hell would you create something that you hate? That's a huge fallacy there. There's something wrong with your mentality, even if you are a god. I'm just saying that if you will go and you will, Islam's a perfect example where you cannot deny the existence of Allah, because according to their religion, when you were created, okay, get this, you met Allah, but he wiped your memory clean and sent you to Earth, so that when you die, you can't say, oh well, I didn't know you existed. What kind of fucking fifth grade mentality is that? I mean, that's like, that's like so childish that it's not even, you can't even critique that right. There's nothing you can do that just can, oh my god, for real, you believe that? Whatever. Anyway, I will be making better videos shortly. I'm trying not to get, too controversial, but I hope I didn't piss anybody off. But if I did, oh well, I did my job. If you agree with me, I did my job. If you slightly agree, slightly disagree, I still did my job. I'm cool with that. Have make opinions, post them down there. That's all for me. Yeah. So see you later, YouTube. It's good seeing you again.